And here we go. On this Monday evening in the city, Chip with you, 6 o'clock straight up, which means it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for an all-new Real Talk Memphis. Glad to have you on board on this lovely Monday evening in the city. A little cooler than it was yesterday, but still very, very nice. And so we weren't here last week and took a little time off, but we're back this week, fired up, ready to go. And we look to have a good broadcast program for you this evening. Got some good guests, and we'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes as to who's going to be on the show and what you might be able to learn from the conversation that you hear. First things first, though, how do you get this fine piece of radio broadcasting? Well, I'm glad you asked. A number of ways. Of course, we're live right now on 91.7 on the FM dial. That will be WYXR. We are also on the app, the WYXR app, live as well. We are on the TuneIn app. You can also find us there. We plan on live streaming the show this evening on Facebook Live, so you can check us out. What am I here? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was like, I thought I was the echo and everything back here. But anyway, and of course, the show is a podcast. If you didn't know that, you know it now. And when the show posts the next day or two, you can pick us up on YouTube. And of course, as a podcast, you can find us wherever it is you get your podcast. Y'all. Take it down or out, whatever, however y'all want. Okay, because I'm having a hard time hearing myself talk. But in any event, so there's several ways to get this broadcast here tonight, and I hope that you're right now cooling out, relaxing, maxing and relaxing, and whatever the terminology is, and you can hang out with us for the next hour. Let me see here. In terms of the guests, well, did you know that March was National Kidney Awareness Month? There are many people, thousands of people who are dealing with kidney issues out here. And we have a guest, Leshundra Robinson, will be joining me in a couple of minutes. And she is associated with the National Kidney Association and going to talk with us about what a big problem this is. The whole issue of kidney donation, the whole 9 yards. There are so many people in this city in particular who are on dialysis, who are just looking for a donor to come to their aid and to help them out. It is a big problem. So we'll talk a little bit about that and, what she does with this organization to create more of an awareness of kidney disease. Next up, we are going to be speaking with Dr. Christopher Davis. Now, you're saying to yourself, well, now that name sounds familiar. Where do I know that name from? Well, he is the president of our HBCU, Lemoyne Owen College. And Dr. Davis will be here at the bottom of the hour here to talk a little bit about what's going on at LOC. Big things happening over there. They have like a brand new media center. They do a podcast, a radio station, the whole 9 yards. And their big presidential gala, which is their huge fundraising event, is happening here pretty soon as well. So Dr. D will join me, and we will catch up and find out all of the good things that are happening at LOC. And a little bit later on, we are going to be talking about an immersive event that is happening here in the city of Memphis. You really, you have to kind of, see it to believe it, but the person who is in charge of it is Vahn Knight. And it's an immersive display, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I'll be honest with you, I really still don't know a whole lot about it and couldn't explain it to you. So thank goodness I have her on the show so she can actually explain this event for us. It's going to open in May, and you'll be able to see it on Mud Island. Couldn't do anything else on Mud Island, but you'll be able to see the display of this new event that they have going on at Mud Island. So that's a look at the broadcast of this evening. But you know how we do it on this show. We always like to celebrate your birthday, your trip around the sun. If you make it, you don't take it for granted because, not everybody does. But if you did, that's a good thing. And it's a good thing for us because we get to celebrate you. But I can't do that until I say the magic words to Bryn. Hit it, Bryn. So, here we go. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday going out to the following individuals. Gregory Beckton, happy birthday to you, sir. Aubrey Howard is celebrating a birthday today, as is Melvin Grimes. Happy birthday to you, Melvin. Rachel Summers Ellis, an old friend of mine, she's celebrating her birthday today, as is Cicely Mason. A short list on the birthday line today, but if you had a birthday over the weekend or you got one coming up this week, all I can say to you is congratulations, a very happy birthday. I hope today has been filled with love and laughter and lots of cake and ice cream if that's your thing. So from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, happy birthday to each and every one. And we look to celebrate you and your next trip around the sun next year. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate that. So let's take a look at some news and notes, shall we? Well, first of all, you had to be under a rock not to know that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, was in town. Earlier today, he was talking about the Memphis Safe Task Force or whatever the title is, but you know what I'm talking about. He was here talking about that this morning. Spent a couple of hours here talking about some of the initiatives that they had and some of the safety issues. And, of course, all these folks I like to call the alphabet here in town, from the marshals to FBI to DEA to the Memphis, the Tennessee Highway Patrol folks, ICE folks, the whole 9 yards. It's been going on for about 6 months. And they bragged a little bit about some of the arrests that they have made and how they've made Memphis a safer city. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to think in reference to all of this. You can form your own opinion as to whether or not the city is safer. And some of the approaches that have been used have been good for you. But they have, good for you. But anyway, the president brought a whole bunch of folks with him today to talk about all of this. And he even capped off his trip by taking a quick tour of Graceland. Before I've never been to Graceland, so I guess they brought him in and did his thing, and 30 minutes later he was gone. So in any event, that was one of the bigger events happening in the city. In other news, Dr. Marie Fagan, you know her as the former superintendent of education for the Memphis and Shelby County Schools and a current candidate for county mayor. She has filed yet another lawsuit, which now includes claims of sex-based discrimination. Now, she is a female, and now she's claiming that she was discriminated against by a majority female board because she's female. I can't figure it out either. But she's filed a suit against Memphis and Shelby County Schools, and we will have to wait and see what happens in all of this in terms of how far it goes. And like I said, she is an active candidate for the county mayor seat. So we'll keep an eye on that and find out what is happening. Bigger news is you may or may not have heard of this audit that has been conducted by the state of Tennessee, the legislative house up there, in terms of some financial malfeasance, I guess you could call it, in reference to how the board has been run for some years. They have asked for an audit. That's what my guess. So, that's what my guess. See what she wants. I'm sorry. Back. This is live radio, ladies and gentlemen. So they have filed this is a huge audit, and it goes back some years now. This goes back a few years, and from what we're hearing from the legislative body is that this is not a good look for the Memphis and Shelby County schools, and this could be the engine that propels them to actually do a takeover of the schools, or whatever terminology you want to use, but they would control the schools through a managerial board, people that they would pick to oversee the Memphis and Shelby County School Board of the elected officials. So basically, if this goes the way they want it to go, the people who were elected will no longer have power over the decisions that will be made for the students around here, but this board would. So again, we should hear some results of the audit sometime this week, we're told. And from the movement that is going on, not necessarily folks aren't too good. Folks aren't too happy with where things are in terms of all of this. Even the school board members are saying, we don't know. So we'll have to wait and watch and see. Okay, so that's a biggie as well. And let me see here if there's anything else that we are. One of the moves that tells us that there might be some issues is the fact that the Memphis and Shelby County School Board, which had offered the permanent superintendent seat to Dr. Rod Richmond, pulled back that offer. And now, instead of being permanent, he is still interim. So again, all of this depends on what this audit shows, and we'll find out sooner rather than later. So pay attention this week. Some big news breaking on that. All right, so listen, that's a quick look at news and notes. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, let's get into it. As I started to say at the top of the show, kidney disease is a very, very important issue, not only in Memphis and Shelby County and Tennessee, but all across the country. This is Kidney Awareness Month. We're going to talk a little bit about that and a whole lot more. We're just getting started. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Hello, friends. Are you craving a soundtrack for the supernatural? The Witching Hour is your answer. Tune in every Monday, 11 p.m. to midnight. Lock your doors, dim the lights, and let the music summon the spirits. Only on WYXR.
Hey, it's Mac Man from your Mac Man Music Show. Tune in every Wednesday at 5 to 6 for the best in all kinds of soul, rhythm and blues, jazz, a little hip hop, and all kinds of music on WYXR 91.7 FM.
Hey now. It's your pal Robert Gordon from Tuesday afternoons at the Idle Hour. I don't know how to work the controls. I don't know what I'm going to play. And no one's going to make you listen. See you there.
Hey, this is Jerry, and you're listening to WYXR 91.7 FM Memphis. My show without a net radio, coming to you from 8 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night. I'll be playing some good music. Tune in and listen.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. Glad you are with us this evening, and very happy that my first guest is with us. As I stated at the top, kidney disease is a very, very serious health problem that millions of people face on a yearly basis. This is National Kidney Awareness Month, March, and my first guest is deeply immersed in all of this and going to give us some information, including a big foundation event that they have coming up. But first things first, let's welcome to the show Miss Leshundra Robinson. And Leshundra, it's good to see you. Welcome to Real Talk Memphis. How you doing tonight?
It's good to be seen, and thank you so much for having me.
It's
You do a
always-
great job. I love your show.
Oh, bless your heart. Appreciate that. It's always good to be seen. You're right about that. Absolutely that. So listen, this is a big deal in terms of something to be aware of because so many people are affected. So let's start, by talking a little bit about that. And I don't know if you got stats for Memphis and Shelby County or Tennessee, but it's a pretty big deal here, is it not?
Yes, it is. We have over 30 million people who 30,000 people
Yeah.
who are not aware that they actually have kidney disease.
Wow.
And so that's a problem right there.
Yeah.
And they're not thinking about when they're going to the doctor, having them to check their kidney, having them to be aware about their blood pressure, knowing how to eat properly. Those things really affect how you actually live and what is actually going on with your kidneys.
Now, the one thing that I think people really should pay attention to is they don't come, a lot of times people don't know from the symptomatic aspect of things that they may have a situation like this because they don't necessarily always show signs. I know there are some physical signs of people who may have kidney disease, but generally speaking, it's something many folks aren't aware of until it gets to a certain point. Can you talk a little bit about that?
That is so true. In a lot of times when they're not thinking about when they're hurting or they're looking at what has happened to maybe their foot or even from their blood or their urine. Mm-hmm. And what I've been noticing is that doctors are saying when you are going to the doctor to have that kidney test, to do that health screening, because your urine is a detection of whether or not you have been affected by a chronic kidney disease. And what you don't want to happen is to say that, oh, I'll just wait till later, or better yet, if you have been diagnosed, and they're telling you some different options, you're praying about it like most people do. We pray about it and then we decide, we're going to let God handle it. But God also said that you need to, start off in doing the work first. And that means that you're having to see what the options are on where you're going and what needs to be done, whether that's going to be dialysis or whether is that going to be a holistic approach. But then having that support system, making sure that you're eating properly, going to the doctor more regularly, and exercising, being hydrated. We think that water is just something that people talk about, of making sure that you drink a lot of water. But if you're not flushing out your kidneys on a regular basis of drinking pure water, then you're also hurting yourself as a whole.
Yeah, and you were speaking about that. Many diseases are of the hereditary type. Kidney disease is not. I don't believe it's one of those where it's hereditary, or is it? I'm not. I don't believe it is. But is it? I'm not sure.
Well, we can say it's a combination, just like any other disease that has affected your body. They first ask you, is there anyone in your family that has a history of kidney disease?
Okay.
Because that can tell you whether or not it could be within just a hereditary situation, but it can also skip you too. So we want to make sure that you are going to the doctor on a regular basis and getting that proper information that you need. And if you don't know, have someone come with you. That way they can ask those tough questions that maybe you're just not thinking about. I've been meeting people recently that said that, they didn't even know they had it because the doctor didn't recognize the signs, or they didn't have that as part of the testing of what they were going through. So it was just something that, we're just overlooked, whether it was, again, high blood pressure, or it was your failure of something that's going on with your organs. And so they're maybe, looking at a different diagnosis, but may not looking at exactly the kidney itself. So this one particular lady had been going to this doctor for so long, and they just misread it. And so when she went to a new doctor and they was asking her, has anyone ever told you about your kidneys? And that's when she started realizing that there was an issue.
Yeah.
And so she had to take immediate action because she was at this stage where either you're going to have to be on dialysis or you're not going to live long. And so she did her own personal research on what she can do and got, of course, several other opinions about it. And although she refused to, go on dialysis because she wanted to live a different life, and she changed her lifestyle. And so when we're talking about changing your lifestyle, we're talking about changing how you eat, how you exercise, sleeping, what are you doing in your own work life? So you have to be assured of what it is that you're looking for, making sure that your doctor is diagnosing you the proper way, and so you can let them know what you're feeling. And if you're feeling something that is not right, asking them to check that, and then making a educated decision on what's going to be your next step.
So we know that kidney disease is progressive. It's not something that can be cured. We know that. I mean, once your kidney starts to fail, those numbers are going to continue unless, of course, you get a transplant. Now, I want to talk about that in a minute, but there are an extraordinary number of people who are undergoing kidney dialysis right now, which is basically draining the blood and then, pulling the blood out and then cleaning it and then putting it back in your system. It's a pretty difficult course to go through, but people do this every single week. And I remember I talked to a doctor friend not too long ago, and he told me, he's a physician, and he said around my medical office, there's probably 9 or 10 dialysis facilities, which tells me that this is an extraordinarily almost common situation that people have to go through. And one of the things that we hear about and we talk about is kidney transplants. One of the sticking points in all of this is being able to have enough people or kidneys to be able to provide to people in need. There are either living donors or mostly people are deceased donors, correct, in terms of all of this?
That is correct. That is correct. And we just had a workshop on becoming a living donor on Sunday with Methodist Transplant Institute, and where we talked to individuals who had either been on the transplant list, who has had a kidney transplant, or who is considering on having a transplant or donating their kidney.
Sure.
And so it's important for people to understand what that means. Just like you said, when with Miss South, I think it was Miss South Transplant. Well, not Miss South Transplant. I've been doing this so long, I got everybody confused.
It's okay. It's all right.
And so when we're looking about donating our organs when we pass away, we're afraid of putting that star on our driver's license because we're thinking that someone is going to kill us because they want the organs, right? That's the big fear of what people are thinking. Yeah. But that's not the case. We've worked so closely with them to know exactly what is the process of when you are putting that star on your driver's license to ensure that that is not the case. You're basically helping to save a life of another person. And that's the same way as a living donor. You are basically saving the life of a person who's on the transplant list. And just numbers about that, there are over 2,500 people who are currently on the transplant list, and 115 of those patients have died just waiting for it. And so we're letting those individuals know that you only need one kidney to live. And by you donating your kidney while you're alive, you're helping to save lives. And as you're saving lives, you're saving the next person to see the future. So given an opportunity to make that decision whether or not you would like to donate your kidney while you're alive gives other people a chance to see what's going to happen in their life.
Yeah, and you talked about, it's easy to do that. There is an organ donation on the back of your driver's license, and you can check that if you want to be an organ donor. If you're no longer going to be here, there are many people that could use life-saving organs, and if you're not using them, somebody else else could, not being flippant, but being really serious about this whole process. Before I let you go, you all are having a big event coming up in recognition of folks who have gone through this process and folks that you are celebrating. Tell us a little bit about what's coming up.
Well, we actually just it was our soiree for kidneys.
Okay.
And we had it last Saturday, and it was a beautiful event.
Yeah.
And it recognized and honored 3 individuals who had been on, whether it was the kidney transplant list or who has had their kidney transplant. We had one individual who has had his kidney for 42 years.
A transplant?
He has surpassed 40. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He got it as a Christmas gift from his brother, and he surpassed the time frame that is, people are saying how long you can actually live
Sure.
when you have a kidney transplant.
Sure.
So he has had his for 42 years, and that is a blessing within itself. And so we honored some individuals there who has been in the community overall, who has been a supporter of the National Kidney Foundation, and letting them know that we appreciate them, but then also letting other people know that this message is important and other people need to know about National Kidney Foundation. And we are here in Memphis. We will be having a walk coming up in September. A golf tournament in September and a walk in October, actually on Halloween. So you still have time to, participate in our events, but always you're able to donate, and you just go to kidney.org and for Tennessee, and we'll actually get that donation to help our individuals here in Tennessee.
The power of transplant to save a person's life. There's nothing greater in terms of a reward at that. I know about that personally. I am a kidney donor, and I think if you think about life as a whole, there's nothing more special than being able to save the life of another individual who is going through some difficult moments. Listen, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate you, Leshundra Robinson. Of course, Leshundra, you're a kidney recipient as well, are you not? Aren't you? Are you? You're not.
No,
okay.
not yet. I'm considering on being a donor, but I do have an uncle who is a recipient, and I have a cousin who is going through the process. And so we're just working together to make sure everything is okay.
Well, it's going to be okay. Absolutely, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
God bless you for the work that you're doing to educate and inform so many people who are really suffering in terms of kidney issues. Thanks for coming on the show tonight and kind of walking us through it. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great night.
You too. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are in a situation where, as we talked about earlier, you can do this very easily in terms of being a donor. You can mark up the back of your driver's license, and it says you want to be an organ donor, yes, no, whatever. And just think about the fact that there are so many people who are just waiting and praying for an organ to be available for them so they can continue their life. And, maybe if you're vacillating one way or another, that might change your mind. Really appreciate her coming on the show. Let's take another break. And when we come back, we're going to shift gears and talk a little bit about education. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. You know who you are. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
What's going on, y'all? This is Charles from Tangent Radio. I wanted to stop by to tell you a couple of things about how our show works. We go by 3 laws: sine, cosine, and tangent. So join me as I follow the signs of our iconic sounds of the past. I cosine the artist shaping what's next, and we go off on a little bit of a tangent to discover the future of music before it hits that mainstream. Tune in with me Mondays at noon here on WYXR 91.7 FM.
Hey everybody, this is David. I'm the host of the New Soft Shoe Show Monday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on 91.7 FM WYXR. All analog, baby.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. Chip with you, and my next guest is no stranger to this community. You know, when it comes to education, many folks take a great deal of pride in saying that they attend an HBCU, which is a historically black college or university. We have one right here in Memphis, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen, and it is called Lemoyne-Owen College. Their president is taking some time out of his schedule to join me right now. Please welcome Dr. Christopher Davis to the broadcast. Dr. D, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Chip, I'm doing well, man. Listen, thanks for having me back on. Of course, always look forward to talking about Lemoyne-Owen College.
Yes, sir. And you all are really doing some things. You have a lot going on out there, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the events that are happening now. Not all that long ago, and I remember trying to get you specifically for this. Did you not, as the college, not receive a gift? Was it $500,000 from somebody? You all got some sort of a financial reward, and I wanted to talk with you about that. In addition to congratulating you and your school in reference to that, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, listen, we got back-to-back $500,000 gifts. One was an anonymous gift to aid us in campus expansion.
Oh, wow.
Of course, as you know, we're landlocked here. So, of course, as we look to continue to grow our institution and enlarge our footprint, it is going to require us to purchase some additional real estate. So we had an anonymous donor give us $500,000 toward that effort.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, shortly after that, FedEx came along and they made a $500,000 contribution to help us re-envision and reimagine our business and entrepreneurship department. So we're excited about that as well.
Yeah, that's a very, very big deal. And I do remember that from FedEx. And so it's like you're continually moving right along. There are a lot of projects that are going on. There's a lot of things that are happening there. One thing that I know that you must be very proud of, because I'm proud of it for you, is Magic 807 Radio. You have a radio station, man, a digital radio station. You got a podcast area over there. You got a little TV studio over there. Talk about this. And now this donation was made by the late Myron Lowry, who was a graduate of that school. How important is that to your overall growth, and how special is that?
Listen, that's very, very special. Chip, I don't know if you know the story behind that house.
No, I don't.
Of course, the late, great Myron Lowry was a proud member of the class of 68. And so, of course, he purchased that house with the hopes that his son, Mikhail, who is now, of course, a candidate for Shelby County mayor, that he would live in that house when he was a student at Lemoyne-Owen.
Oh, wow.
But of course, like most 19, 20-year-olds, Mikhail wasn't interested in living in that house. He wanted to live in a dorm with the rest of his classmates.
I understand.
So the house sat empty. And of course, Mikhail went on to graduate and went to work and got his own place. So the house was still there. So, he reached out to the institution and said, hey, I want to make a gift to my school. There were no strings attached, no thoughts around what we would do with the building. But when he gave it to us, we began to think around how could we honor the gift and honor his legacy here in the city. So, of course, we know he began his career in broadcast journalism.
Yes.
We were in need of some space for communication, and out of that came, as you mentioned, Magic 807, home for Magic 807 Radio, LOC TV, our podcast studio. All of those things are housed in what we call the Lowry Communications Center.
It is a beautiful facility. I've been over there. Not too long ago, I was over there and took a tour of it. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. President, in front of everybody who might be watching or listening to this broadcast, I would like to be a part of that some kind of way. I would love to do something, with your facility. So I'm just passing that on to the president.
If that is the hardest question I get today, I've got it made. Because look, the answer to that is come on down.
Come on down, man. Look, I appreciate that. I really do, and I'm really happy for all of you. Now, on the academic side of things, which I know is extraordinarily important to you, you have a pretty a good student base there. As time has moved along, since you have assumed the presidency, some of the goals that you were trying to reach and some of the steps that you were trying to take, where are you in that process as you continue to march LOC forward in the world of academic excellence? Where are things from your perspective now?
I think we're moving in the right direction, Chip. Now, I would be lying to you if I told you we had moved as quickly as I had hoped to move. But I think that's just the enthusiasm of a new president and a young president.
Sure.
So, but I think when we look at all things being considered, I think we're moving at a fairly significant rate. Of course, as you know, I've been in the seat now for about 2.5 years.
Yep.
When I took over, and the enrollment was about 450 students. Today, we're just north of 700. So we're proud of that growth. We've been able to move the needle significantly in terms of both retention and graduation. Are they where they need to be? They're not. But are we moving in the right direction? We are. So we're certainly excited about that. We've got some new academic offerings that we're excited about. I think we're probably about 60 days away from cutting the ribbon on our Turk Center. That's an acronym for Technology, Innovation, and Research Center. Mm-hmm. It is going to be completely state-of-the-art to support our cybersecurity program. One of the things that we like to boast and brag about is, of course, we're one of only 6 schools, regardless of size, in the state of Tennessee that has endorsements from Homeland Security to do cybersecurity. So that's something we're proud of. We are now working through the accreditation process to stand up a new public health program at Lemoyne Owen. We're really excited about that. Of course, as you know, there is a tremendous need in this area for public health workers, both at the health department and beyond.
Yes.
So we're standing up a degree in public health to support that work. We have just completed a major overhaul of our education curriculum to address the 500 teacher shortage that we see in Memphis Shelby County schools. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is, Chip, we are trying to be responsive to the needs in Memphis and Shelby County. Now, if Nashville, Atlanta, Dallas, those other metropolitan areas, if they can benefit from what we do here at Lemoyne, then great. But our real focus is on improving the life of the citizens of Memphis.
You know, one thing I never got a chance to talk with you about, and I want to talk a little bit about it now because I think it's great. The partnership, the academic partnership that you have with Tennessee Southwest Community College. Yes. Those kids, and I want to hear a little bit about that. I think that's absolutely great because you're continuing, as you just said, you're funneling through the pipeline. You're taking them and giving them a real opportunity to come to a school that's on the rise, yours, as well as an HBCU. How big a deal is that for you?
Well, Chip, is huge because, of course, it becomes a win-win. I mean, here's the reality. It's no great secret that Memphis Shelby County Schools is experiencing a real challenge. And what that challenge looks like in real time is students that are not ready upon graduation to attend a private 4-year liberal arts institution like Lemoyne Owen, specifically in the area of math, reading, and science. So the wonderful thing about Southwest is Southwest is there. They've got the resources to do the work. Students are able to go to Southwest if they graduated from a high school here in Memphis for free for 2 years. So they can get the work they need. They can get the kind of support they need. Graduate with an associate's degree at Southwest, 2 years completely free. So then they show up at Lemoyne degree bearing. So they don't have to take any general ed courses, but they can show up here with a degree in hand and move immediately into their major. And depending upon what their grades look like and so forth, there's a real good chance they could graduate debt-free, which is always the goal.
That is a very, very, very big deal. And I'm sure that there are a lot of folks out there who are listening to that and really now wanting to consider what they wasn't an option prior, something that is a big option now. My son is just about to graduate from Tennessee Southwest Community College, so we might need to send him up the road and talk to y'all about
well, let me say this to you, Chip. As a matter of fact, and I said this to Dr. Hall, we're so committed to this Southwest Lemoyne-Owen pipeline that we have set aside scholarship dollars that are reserved specifically for Southwest Tennessee graduates.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, there's the big. That's one of the big incentives right there. And congratulations on that. That's a very, very big deal. But one thing I do want to talk to you about is the annual big event, your biggest fundraiser, I would imagine, of the year. It's the Presidential Gala. And it is coming up soon. I believe it's is it next month sometime you're having it, or tell us a little bit about this year's event. Yeah. I'm sorry. Say again. Yeah.
I like to refer to our gala as a party with a purpose.
Yes, sir.
And that's because it is an opportunity for current students, alumni, partners, supporters, the city to come out and invest in Lemoyne-Owen College. Because one of the things that we're trying to help people to understand is when you invest in Lemoyne, you're investing in the city of Memphis. And the other good thing about it is it gives people an opportunity to really see who we are. You know, the truth of the matter is when you don't, and you can appreciate this being in the media, when you don't control the narrative, then you're left at the whim of somebody else's version of your story. Where the gala is always an opportunity to meet our students, to see our students, to see the caliber of young men and young women that are matriculating through our institution so that you can see you really are, when you invest in Lemoyne-Owen, you really are getting a return on investment.
This is, I'm so proud of what you all are doing over there, and this is. I hope that this bullhorn is big enough, but because I think everybody should hear and know what we're talking about this year. Of course, the Presidential Gala is a very big deal, of course, and
April the 17th. I didn't add that part. April the 17th at 7:00.
April the 17th at 7:00. Do you have a special musical guest this year, or do you?
Listen, we've got the legendary voice of the Barcades, Mr. Larry Dotson, because we want this year's gala. It's going to be the Renaissance Convention Center. This year's gala is going to be all about Memphis. We are going to highlight our city. I mean, you see so much on the news, you read so much in the paper about all the bad things that are happening in Memphis.
Yeah.
This year's gala is to highlight the good stuff happening in Memphis and the good people in Memphis who call this city home.
Well, listen, my friend, I'm glad you called Memphis home. Dr. Christopher Davis, ladies and gentlemen, president of Lemoyne-Owen College. Thank you, sir, for taking some time to come on the show tonight and lay some big things out to us this evening that your school is doing. Congratulations, all the best, and I can't wait to get on air over there myself. I'm excited about whatever you got.
In the words of that late great commentator on contemporary context, Ray Charles, we gonna make it do what it do, baby.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Dr. Davis. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you for coming on today. Absolutely. There you go. They gonna make it do what it do, ladies and gentlemen, and we gonna make it do what we do here. Let's take another break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about something very interesting that is coming to Mud Island from an exhibit perspective. That's all I'm gonna tell you. My next guest will lay it all out for us. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. We're having a good time tonight. I hope you are as well. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest? or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, this is David. I'm the host of the New Soft Shoe Show, Monday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on 91.7 FM WYXR. All analog, baby.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. I hope you're having a good time because I am. And this next guest that we're talking to has been working hard. Have you ever heard of something called immersive art? It is all a part of a new exhibit experience called Baron von Opperbein and the River of Time. It is going to be at the River Museum on Mud Island, and their CEO, G. Von Knight, joins me now to talk about this. And it's good to see you, my friend. How you been?
It is good to see you. Can you believe we'd be here 5 years later?
This is unbelievable. And let me tell you, and I want you to lay all this out for us. I'm not that smart, but I want to be able to recite everything about this when we're done with this interview. This project is pretty neat, and it's very different. Why was it something that you wanted to take as a challenge and be the head of? I'm curious about that.
So I've seen firsthand, having moved here from New Mexico, I got to see the rise of a company called Meow Wolf, and I had the opportunity to work there for a couple of years. And I got to see how that company and its immersive entertainment experience transformed the entire tourism industry for the state of New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
It was an underserved market. Nobody would have put family-friendly entertainment in Santa Fe, New Mexico that has 75,000 people up in the mountains, up in the desert. But everywhere you have people that are building families and raising the next generation, you have a whole generation of people that want to be inspired and engaged and entertained and to drive that into what they do next in life. So I already knew the impact it could have. I had no idea at the time who was actually trying to do it here in Memphis, because it tends to be a more trendy thing in bigger cities.
That's very interesting. Just the setup of all of that. But this whole experience for the audience here in Memphis, down at Mud Island, Baron von Opperbein and the River of Time. How do you surmise that? I mean, how do you put that in a neat little box to explain to folks exactly what kind of experience this is?
Okay, so it's immersive entertainment, but that doesn't tell anybody anything,
right?
Because that's a broad word. So here it is. It is a digital and physical playground set within a cinematic universe. So we know what a playground is at a park, but it doesn't have characters and storylines and entire worlds built in. We know what a cinematic universe is, whether you're thinking Star Wars or Marvel, where you've got characters overlapping and storylines and people.
Okay.
So bring those together. You've got a physical playground, a digital playground to interact with, and it's all set within its own cinematic world.
Has Memphis ever seen anything like this that you know of?
So Memphis did get a small pop-up version, a 2,000 square foot version, which was Bevo's first Quadrant 360, and that was launched in the middle of COVID. So when you and I were talking about the code that really matters, the community, Christopher Reyes was actually launching an entertainment exhibit where he could only take people through one pod and car at a time because they all had to be social distanced.
Wow. So I stole a quote from you about this, and it says, so you say So if you've ever wanted to jump inside your favorite movie and have an open world exploration from the inside out, that's in essence what you're building. Am I correct in that?
Yes. It's not a ride. It's not passive entertainment where you're going and you're expecting it all to come to you. It is step into the world and explore it at your pace, at your leisure. Are you a physical explorer? Are you a digital person? Are you more visual? Do you just want to sit and listen to the music and the ambiance? Do you want to read everything? Do you not want to read anything and just enjoy the visuals? All of that is at your choice in an open world.
So why Mud Island as a location?
Okay, I've been here for 6 years, and to me, it's obvious. It is one of the most gorgeous places in downtown Memphis. And in any other city, people would be fighting hand over fist to be able to put something amazing on that island. But in the history of Bevo, really it came from Mayor Paul Young, because the team was looking to launch the next Bevo in the Coliseum. And they were having conversations of how do we turn the Coliseum into an immersive entertainment. And that's an entertainment venue because the Coliseum is enormous. The Bevo part would have been a small part of the Coliseum. Yeah. And it was actually Mayor Young who was talking to Christopher Reyes and Marvin Stockwell who said, hey, have you thought about Mud Island? And the story I've been told is the first answer was, heck no, not Mud Island.
Yeah.
And then they took the team down there to take a look at it. And the boats, which are behind me, for those that are on the live stream, the assets that are in the building, that we get to then give them a new life and a new legacy, it became a no-brainer that this was the best place to build it.
So, okay, so we have something new and we have something interactive, immersive, the whole 9 yards. What do you hope the average person who takes advantage of this and goes to see it and be a part of it, what do you want people to take away from this?
I want people first to let go at the door, to surrender to the fact that they're going to discover and play, which kids know how to do. We don't have to teach them. Adults need permission to play, to just let go and play and go down the slide and crawl through the hole, and enjoy themselves and tap into that wonder. I want the next generation from Memphis to realize that there are 10 different industries and 50 different careers that create an establishment like this. And those are all possibilities in their life, depending on what they want to do with their lives. And I want us to bring more creative industry to Memphis, which is self-generating, it's self-funding, it pours money back into the community, it pours equity back into the community, across the board.
Is this a template for things to come in terms of this country, G? I mean, you're talking about something that we've never seen around here before, and based on what could be the success of it, would you like to see this be a model, if that's a word to use, or a template for other places to ring your phone and say, hey, you got this thing going on down there in Memphis. How can we get that here, wherever here is?
So there's a fine line in the creative world because, yes, I think the boundaries between entertainment are breaking down. People don't just want a movie. They want movie plus another experience. Like the Stranger Things finale is a great example. It's a television show that then they put it in a theater and people came dressed up and they came for the entire experience. So the boundaries between entertainment are breaking down. That's happening across the board. That's not us.
Okay.
Would I like to see, and this is just because humans want more depth in their entertainment. They don't just want the thing that makes them laugh for 30 seconds and they move on. They want depth in what they can explore. So would I like to see, Bevos across the country and other companies creating their own immersive entertainment and joining that? Memphis is going to join a community of immersive entertainment. The one thing that I caution, though, is it can become a model, but it can't become manufactured, because the second it becomes manufactured, then it goes back into, it loses its spark, it loses its wonder, it loses that intangible thing, all towards, getting down to a really good balance sheet and a P&L.
That's very, very interesting. Now, am I correct? I guess I heard it or saw it somewhere. You're looking at May 1st for the opening, or
First.
is that?
Yes.
So
yeah.
So now we had some issues, weather issues here not too long ago. It was supposed to open, right? But then we had some water damage or something that held it back. But everything is moving forward now. You're feeling good about everything. You're excited. Everything is going.
Everything is moving forward now. Everyone's a little angry that we got held back, which then you just pour that into creative builders, and they come back twice as strong. We're excited to join the rest of the city in celebrating, because it's already an institution for Memphis to be celebrating with visitors from across the world in May. It'll be a wonderful time for us to open.
Baron Vahn Opera Bean and the River of Time. It will be opening at the River Museum on Mud Island. Their CEO G. Von Knight is. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited for the city that you're bringing. Something new, exciting, and different here. And I wish you and all of the folks associated with this great success. You have to come back down the road and let me know how things are going.
We'll come over. We're right down the road from Crosstown. We'd love to.
Well, see, there you go. I like that. I like the spirit of cooperation. Thank you, G. It's good to see you. Thank you for being on the show tonight. I really appreciate it.
You too, Chip.
Absolutely. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I tell you, it's good stuff here. Lulu, who's sitting to my left here, our producer, she's like, she wants to go see it. She's excited about it. So there you go. You got a person all ready to go. So listen, this has been a good show. But after this show, you can't leave. You can't go anywhere, because my man, he's sitting on my right. Lulu's on my left, and Brent is on my right. He is the host of the Smash Show, Monday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time, called Event Horizon. I'm sorry. You know how much stuff I have to keep in my head? Anyway, he hosts Event Horizon. And Brent, how you doing, my friend? It's good to see you.
I'm doing very good. Good to see you after a week break.
Yeah, it's always good to get the band back together. And you and I were talking. You and I were talking a few minutes ago. The weather's starting to warm up a bit now. We're starting to settle in to spring. But you, like me, like so many other folks, have to deal with the pollen and the hay fever. And if you're allergic to stuff, it's kind of a tough year. So it's
Definitely.
For you too, right? I would imagine for you.
Oh yeah, it'll be. There's some internet joke around that there's truly like 12 seasons, and we'll have a false summer start. Right now we're in the pollinating, so we got a ways to go before things get kind of level, and we have some semblance of a regular season. I'm sure there'll be some more storms at some point as well, but hopefully it'll get washed away at some point.
Brent Butler, ladies and gentlemen, with weather. So what's on the playlist tonight, my man?
Well, a good transition, actually. On Event Horizon, I like to sometimes play stuff based on the weather, based on the atmosphere, based on how I'm feeling. And so this week, it'll be a little bit of hip hop and electronic stuff. And right in the middle, there will be a decent amount of post-punk music.
Post-punk music. Well, right. I mean, just having said that, it's worth you guys sticking around for the next hour or so. As Brent plays this out, stay tuned for Event Horizon. It's coming your way like in about a minute or so. But for this show, it's been a good show. I've enjoyed the show. I think we've had some good guests tonight, some good information. Lulu and Brent both shaking their heads. That's a good thing. I thank you all for being a part of what we do each and every Monday evening right here at Crosstown Concourse. From 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. If you like what we do, you know me. I'm always telling you, go out and tell somebody. Everybody know about this Real Talk Memphis gig we got going here each and every Monday evening. Thanks to all of my guests. Thanks to my crew. Thanks to Lulu. Thanks to Bren for their great work as always. And listen, wish you a great week. Hopefully you won't get too sick with the pollen and the hay fever and stuff, and kind of try to take care of yourself, because we'll be back here, if Lord says so, next Monday evening. Same time. We'll try to do it all over again, just a little bit better. So for Lulu, for Bren, and for yours truly, Chip, have a wonderful week. Be safe, be careful, and until next time, we are out. Peace. See ya.